And today we're going to be doing a slow flow, something just to slow you down, to unwind the body, and just to help you feel really good and relaxed. So you're going to find a mat, you're going to come into a seated position just like so. When you're ready, we're going to just go ahead and close down the eyes. And just take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Rolling the shoulders back down the back body. You can keep going with that, or you can stay still. Just staying tuned in with the breath. Really turning our attention inward and just noticing, observing the breath, observing the fast or the slow pace of the breath. What it feels like. Maybe what it feels like emotionally, physically. Breathing in through the nose. And just exhale, release. Start to feel a softening in the body, softening in the eyes, softening in the forehead, in the neck, the jawline. And one more time, roll those shoulders down and back, sitting up nice and tall in the spine. And one more big inhale and exhale. Just let it all go. You can keep the eyes closed, or you can open them up. We're going to take the right hand back behind the back body. Doesn't really matter where, what feels good for you. Mine's wrapped behind the back, and then we're going to just go ahead and drop the head so the left ear comes to the left shoulder. And then just remembering to listen to your body, how this feels. So we're looking for a nice softening here, a nice little unwind for the neck. Just letting that ear drop towards the shoulder, and then taking a deep breath in through the nose, and then out, let it go. Now, if this is too much for you, you can take the hand out to the side or to the knee. Just one more time. Big breath in. And breath out. And then we're just going to open up the arms, reach them out, stretch them out to the side. And then we're going to give ourselves a nice big hug. So right hand over left. We're just going to wrap our hands around our back body, squeeze in real tight. Big inhale up. And exhale. Just go ahead and unwind into that hug. Maybe just ease into the hug. Let it feel good. Once again, coming back to the feelings that come with some of these poses. Maybe emotionally this feels really good. It's important to love ourselves just as much as we want others to love us. And then opening up the arms, big and wide. Big inhale and release. This time we're going to take the left hand back behind the back body, or you can bring it to the knee or the mat. And we're going to just go ahead and drop that right ear to the right shoulders, breathing in and breathing out. Open mouth, breath out, or a closed mouth, ujjayi breath. You're choosing. And just seeing if you can visually send that breath to that area. Maybe you feel tension in the neck, maybe it's in a certain area. And just imagining that if you were to inhale and breathe in, and exhale and send energy, send love, send release to that neck area of the body. Maybe it's more in the shoulder, maybe it's more up into the spine or the part of the neck that sits under the base of the skull. And then we're just going to open up one more time. We're going to hug ourselves again. So this time the left arm is going to go on top. Yeah. And just give yourself a nice big hug. Maybe a smile comes with it. Big inhale. exhale, maybe round through the spine this time, dropping the head. Big breath in and big breath out. And then just go ahead and release. Switch the positioning of your legs. And maybe that feels a little bit more awkward on that one side. So just observing and noticing the difference in your hips. So we're going to take our arms out wide. You take them to your, whatever point your body says stop, then stop. So you're going to take your hands, stretch them out. Maybe that's lower, maybe that's higher. Taking a deep breath in. Feel that breath into the back body, the shoulder blades. And a breath out. And we're going to take that to the right side of the body. So feeling that side body stretch in the left shoulder, the left side body. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, release. Maybe that breath brings your nose towards your knee. Maybe you're resting your forehead on your knee. And then we're going to walk the hands gently to the other side and take this on the other side. So one more time, big inhale. And then looking to ease into where your body says that it wants the stretch, that it wants the release. And really listening, taking the time to turn inward, noticing, observing. Maybe you feel it in the hips, maybe it's in the shoulder and side body. And then we're going to come up and release. Let's go ahead and cross the ankles and come up into a tabletop position. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, cat-cow position. And we're just going to go ahead and first stretch the wrists out. So go ahead and maybe you want to take the wrists back to the back body. Or if this is too much, you can take them a little bit more out to the side. Or if it's too much, you can flip them another direction, play with the stretch another direction. So we're going to take them this way today. And if you've never done this before, stay here. Maybe you bring the weight a little further forward, shift the weight forward so it's not quite so intense. Or maybe you want to tuck the toes and sink the hips back and take that into a little bit more of a toe stretch as well. So really awakening up the body, feeling a little release, a little rinse for the wrists, show them some love. And then go ahead and release. Let's take that back to the toes, knees together, toes tucked under. You can stay here. If this is too much, lean forward a little bit. Ease into your level of comfortable right here. So our toes are tucked. We're in more of a hero position. Almost like we're going to come up into a camel and breathe into it. Just settling in with discomfort. And then coming back forward onto the mat, we'll take some cat-cow so you can untuck the toes. Maybe you want to shake out those toes. And then we're going to take a big exhale. Just drop the head, lift the belly towards the spine. And then inhale, lift the crown of the head, reach it up high. And then exhale, flowing through your cat-cow. Maybe you take it faster. Maybe you take it slower. Really reaching the crown of the head up, dropping the belly towards the mat. Still engaging and finding strength through the arms here. And then go ahead and drop the head one more time. Feel that protraction in the shoulders. Chin comes towards the chest maybe. Feeling that energy in the upper body. Take one more big inhale. And exhale. Okay. From cat-cow, we're going to go ahead and just shift the weight to the right. So our right hip is going to come towards the outside of the mat, and we're just going to roll that around with the breath. So exhaling back, rolling the hips around to the left side of the mat, and then shift the weight to the left. So exhaling. So inhaling at the top, exhaling with that release. Once again, maybe that rinse for the body, for the hips. Inhaling back at the top. We'll take this a couple more times. Take it at your own pace, at your own depth. Maybe you want to sit into it a little bit. Maybe you want to slow it down. And last time on the left side, maybe you sit onto it. Sit into it on this side. Ease into it. And then coming back up to the top. From here, we're going to go ahead and thread the needle. So we're going to bring that right hand all the way up, reaching it up, opening up through the chest, through the heart, and then reach and draw those fingers in between the arm and the leg here. And then go ahead and draw the side of the head to the mat and just drop into this, keeping that pelvis nice and neutral as much as you can. And you can stay here, you can play around with this pose. There's lots of things we can do in this pose. We can reach the opposite hand the other direction. You can play with extension through the legs, taking it maybe a little bit deeper. Maybe not so much for you. Everybody's gonna feel it differently. So just playing with your level of depth into this pose. Maybe it feels good just right where you're at. We're going to take one more breath, inhaling, and then exhale, press into the left hand, reach the right hand back up to the sky, see if you've gained any more space, and then reach the right hand to the back. We'll try the other side this time. So reaching up, extending the fingertips up to the sky, and then go ahead and reach them through, thread through, dropping the side of the head to the mat. Once again, playing around with it if you want, or just staying here, maybe sinking into this pose, making it feel good for you. Maybe you have a pillow even placed in between here if that space doesn't feel good for you. You can find extension. Making sure to find balance on both sides of the body too. Maybe you did something on one side of the body and you want to find that balance for the other side. One more big inhale. Then exhale, pushes and lifts us back up. Reaching, seeing once again if you've gained any more space, observing this side of the body. And then we're going to release back into our cat-cow. And from our cat-cow, you can take one more, any movements, any organic movements you want to take that maybe feel good for the spine. Maybe you want to play into the elbows, the arms. Just taking a couple seconds for you. From here, we're going to stretch the right foot back and stretch into the calf. So staying here for just a moment, really pressing the right heel back towards the back side of the mat, leaning into that stretch, feeling that line of energy. And then we'll go to the other side. So this time the left heel stretches back, pressing that heel back, once again, leaning into it. And just observing, once again, right from left. And then we're just going to release. This time we're going to sink the hips back and find a child's pose. So you can take that wide leg, or you can bring the knees together, reach and walk the fingertips all the way up to the highest point that works for you, and then just dropping the forehead to the mat. Just settling in here. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. So it's your own pace. And maybe it's too much. You want to make it a little bit more passive, since this is a slow flow and you want to drop the elbows to the mat. Maybe you want to find a little movement. For some of us, sitting still can be aggravating. So if you need to move, if you need to find a little wiggle, go ahead and take that. And then we're going to press into the mat with the hands. So nice wide fingers, wide base. And shoulder width apart. And then we're going to press all the way forward, rounding through the spine, finding a little spinal movement here, dropping all the way onto the top of our mat. So a little baby cobra, lifting up, finding that extension, really pressing the glutes together, finding strength there and releasing. We're going to sink back to our child's pose. So pressing up through the top, sinking back through the child's. Maybe you have a tucked toe or not. Finding a little bit of stretch here for a moment. Big inhale. Feel up the back body and exhale. And then our next inhale, we're going to shoot all the way forward again. Protraction through the shoulders. Find that engagement through the core as you land down to the top of your mat. Okay, all right, so settling in. We're going to take our right arm, we're going to walk it all the way to the left. And then we're going to take our left arm and walk it all the way to our right. So little pretzel arms here. I'm going to slide back so you can see me. And then we're just going to drop our chin right to our left arm. Easing into this, softening through the back body. Just to release the feet, the toes, the knees, the thighs, and the glutes. And just ease into this pose. Taking a few breaths here. Finding a little bit of unwinding through the upper body. And then you're just going to release. Bring the hands back. We're going to, little bit of cactus arms here. Drop the left cheek to the mat. You're going to reach up, extend the right foot, flex that heel, and then go ahead and pull it back behind the back body. So a little bit of a spinal twist here, a little bit of release through the spine. Maybe you feel that in the shoulder, the left shoulder. Breathing deep. And then drawing that back, drawing that knee back to the mat. And we'll take that pretzel twist on the other side this time. Left arm walks to the right, right fingertips right, walk to the left. And then once again, dropping that chin over the top of the arm. Maybe you want to soften through the eyes, the forehead. In addition to that softening through the back body, we want to really think about letting go of that back body. Focus the breath on the shoulders and the upper body. Breathing into it. Once again, coming back to that idea of visually sending the breath to the area of tightness. And maybe you notice it's tighter on one side than the other. And then we're going to release, find that cactus or goal pose with the arms once again, and just dropping the right cheek to the mat this time. Find that bent knee in the left with the left heel, flex the foot, and then drop that left heel towards the back. Now, if this isn't available, you can always just hold it up at the top. You can place a couple blocks underneath the foot or a couple pillows. And just allowing yourself to find that twist for the exhale. So inhaling through the nose, exhale, see if you can find that twist just a little bit more, allowing yourself to create a little bit more space. And then we'll release and bring that knee back to the mat. Go ahead and press up one more time. Baby cobra, maybe you can find a little bit more space now. Maybe you want to take that a little bit higher. And then we're going to go ahead and sink back. All right, we're going to come back to a table position. And from our table position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, we're going to draw that right leg back up. Almost like we're going to do a spinal balance, but we're going to draw that right knee all the way towards the right elbow. So drawing it up, engaging through the core, and then go ahead and press that right foot down. Finding a low lunge, okay? So go ahead and reach forward. Find that extension through the left leg. And maybe play around with the knee here. Maybe you don't want to go quite as far. Maybe you'd like to come up a little bit higher. Tuck and engage that pelvis just slightly. Engage the core. Reach up. Reach the arms up. Soften into the pose. Breathing in. Finding a little lift through the fingertips. And breathing out. Deeper into the pose. One more breath. Breathing in. And into the pose. One more time. Breathe in. And then we're going to sink back into a half split. So you're just going to shift the weight all the way back. Hands can come to blocks or to the mat. If you're using blocks, that's fine too. Sinking that hip down. Keeping the knee nice and neutral. And you can just play with, once again, your level of depth here. Maybe you have that range to go further. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're a little bit more up here. Maybe you've got a little bit of a bent knee. Just meet yourself where you're at. So flex that foot. Draw that chest up and open. Big inhale and exhale. All right, go ahead and shift that weight forward, back into that low lunge, but we're gonna kickstand that back foot. So we're just gonna draw it out to the side, opening up into a little baby side angle. So reach and extend the left arms to the sky. And then press that elbow into the thigh or the knee, wherever it looks like on you. Reach and extend, opening up through the heart. Maybe you gaze up at the fingertips, feeling that inner thigh stretch here. And then we're going to go ahead and sink the weight back, shifting all the way down. Little half butterfly, reach and extend. Maybe you drop the forehead. Maybe you want to find a little lift first. Maybe you want to take a big inhale and then exhale. Draw the core in. Draw that tummy in. Create that space. Dropping the forehead towards the knee. Letting the hands just fall naturally where they fall. One more breath. Inhaling and exhaling. And one quick breath we'll take to the side. So just shifting the weight over to that left knee. Taking a breath. Trying to maintain our groundedness in through our hips. And maybe play with that. Maybe that looks more like the left hands through the middle here, between the knee and the foot. Maybe you want to grab onto the foot. Maybe you want to take it more into a twist. And we're going to come back up to the top. So we're going to cross the ankles, come back up to that tabletop position. And then once again, we're going to extend the left heel out and up. So really pressing that foot into the wall. And then find that engagement through your core as you draw that knee all the way up, shifting the weight just slightly, dropping that left foot to the top of the mat. So find a good position for you. Maybe that means you slide the knee back a little bit. Maybe that means you have a cushion under the knee. Maybe the toe is tucked or untucked. We're going to find that low lunge. Tuck that pelvis just slightly, engage through the core, find a little lift. Breathing here. Find that point to gaze at. Rooting down to the earth with the foot. That left heel drives into the mat. Zip up the inner thigh, find that engagement through the inner thigh. And then we're going to shift the weight all the way back. Little baby half split. Drawing the hands to the mat or blocks. And then sinking that pelvis back. So finding the engagement in that left pelvis. So you're drawing the left pelvis back. the right forward so that you can find that neutral, strong positioning. And then find a little baby inhale. And then exhale, just let it go. Take it to your level, wherever that means that your forehead meets, or your knee, whatever that looks like for you. Just meet yourself where you're at. No, there's no comparisons in yoga. It is your journey, your body. Your body is different from everyone's. Flexing that toe for a little bit more depth. Maybe you grab onto the foot once again. And then we're going to go ahead and shift the weight forward, kickstand that back foot in to the sides of the mat. And then we're going to find that little baby side angle. So dropping the hand, and maybe you bring the elbow up to the knee. But be careful not to just relax into that. We're still working. We're still reaching those right fingertips up and opening up through the chest. Reach and extend. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're unwinding, we're leaning into these poses, but we're also working, we're also finding strength through settling, through taking that time to take care of our body. Maybe you want to open up a little bit through the shoulder. And then we're just going to shift the weight back. Once again, we're going to find that little baby half butterfly. So the sole of the right foot comes to the inner top of the thigh. And then we're going to take a big inhale, exhale, draw that core in, fire it up, draw it in, and just let the body fall naturally where it meets. Maybe here, maybe you grab a couple blocks and put them underneath you for some stability if that's what you're looking for, or a pillow. Staying with the breath, staying mindful of the breath. Really thinking about deepening the breath now. Maybe you're working more towards Ujjayi breath. Inhale through the nose, little seal at the mouth, and exhale, almost like a Darth Vader. That slight constriction in the back of the throat. And then we're going to take it out to the side. So just feeling that stretch in different directions. Maybe you want to grab the foot. Maybe you're grabbing the shin. Maybe you're taking that bit of a twist and looking back behind the right shoulder. And using that exhale, use that exhale to create that space for that twist. And now we're just going to open up into a wide-legged fold. So extending both legs out to sides of the mat. Find that engagement through the core, and you can grab a couple blocks, you can grab a pillow, and just find a nice little wide leg fold here. Take a big inhale and exhale. Maybe we're going to slow it down here a little bit more, and maybe you're opening up the mouth, just letting it go. Settling in and just thinking about the release. Maybe you drop the chin towards the chest, drop the head. One more big inhale. Feel that breath blow up the back body, and exhale takes you deeper. We're going to draw those feet in, little butterfly stretch. So soles of the feet come together, and then go ahead and bring the heel of the foot as close as you can to the inner thighs. That might mean that your butterfly is way up here, and that's okay. If you want to grab some blocks and put them under your knees, if that feels better for stability, you can grab some blocks or some pillows. I like pillows when I do yoga. And then just go ahead and make a little weave with your fingers. Place them underneath the feet. Draw the chest up and open. Big inhale and exhale. Draw the the elbows towards the knees. Draw that core up and in. And once again, observing the breath, observing the body, observing visually sending the breath where you need. Staying with that breath for a couple more, or this pose for a couple more breaths. And when you're ready, you come up. We're going to find extension through the legs, a little forward fold. Maybe walk the hips back just slightly. Find a little inhale, lift the arms up, rise up. Draw that tummy in, and then go ahead and let the tummy come towards the thighs, the top of the thighs, and then just go ahead and naturally drop the body, the back, the shoulders where they meet. Maybe that's the feet. Maybe you're wrapping your hands around your knees. Maybe you even keep a micro bend here. We don't want to overstretch. We don't want to overdo it. In yoga, we always want to listen and be mindful. If something hurts, then stop. Take the edge to a different level, right? We need to listen so that we don't hurt ourselves. Breathing in, breathing out. Maybe just dropping that chin towards the chest, finding a little bit of a softening here, a surrender, surrendering the body to what it needs. We don't take the time enough to slow down, slow the mind down, slow the body down. Maybe relax the feet. And then just coming up, we're going to slide the hips forward, taking it down to the mat. We're just going to find one little bridge pose. So feet under hips, feet under knees. And then you're just going to lift up, press the hips up, engage the core and the pelvis. So it's almost like they're coming together for nice strength here. And then pressing those hips up, find a big inhale. And exhale. We'll do that one more time. Option to walk the shoulders underneath. So maybe you lift up, find that engagement one more time. Clasp the hands, walk the shoulders underneath. Find that breath. Make sure to keep those glutes tucked, almost like you have a quarter in between there, and you're pressing together. Find that strength and stability. Strength in the glutes, in the thighs, in the feet. And exhale. All right, go ahead and draw that right heel over top of the left knee. We'll just take a little pigeon here. Maybe you want to find a little movement. You can thread the hands underneath and around the back of the left thigh. Or you can just keep the hands to the side, whatever feels good. So rocking the hips here. Staying mindful once again of the breath, or just staying still, drawing the whole leg area to maybe the chest. Maybe you want to lift up a little bit, or maybe you just want to relax. Just knowing that there's ways to make these poses really work for you, to really feel good for you, to feel sensational. And when you're ready, we're going to just drop that right heel all the way down towards the mat or the floor, the earth. And then extend that right hand all the way out. And maybe you gaze at the fingertips. Maybe you take the head or the side of the head to the mat. Or maybe you keep the neck nice and neutral. Coming back to the breath. Slowing it down here. One more inhale. And exhale. And then we're going to draw the knees up and into the core. And then we're going to take the other side. So left heel on right knee. And then go ahead and find that movement. Find what feels good for you. Maybe you find a rock Maybe you're working towards pulling it in towards each other, the chest and the legs. Staying mindful of the breath. Maybe this side needs a little bit more something different than the other side. We're always working towards balance, but sometimes balance means that one side of the body needs more than the other side of the body. And just listening and being aware so that we can know. And then go ahead, exhale. Drop that left heel all the way to the mat or the floor. Extension through the left fingertips. Maybe you look and gaze at the fingertips. The side of the head comes towards the mat. Maybe even take the right hand to the knee and draw it towards the mat. Staying here for a couple breaths. And then release, bring the knees in, wrap the arms around the knees. Give a little hug. Coming back to maybe an intention that we set at the beginning of our practice when we hugged. And we eased into that hug. We just allowed ourselves to feel that hug. Sitting with our emotions, sitting with our thoughts. Maybe just rock back and forth. Extend the legs all the way up. Last pose. Maybe you flex the feet, bend the feet. Round the ankles. Any last organic movements you want to take here. You want to take a happy baby one more time, or if you want to just keep the legs extended for a little bit more, legs up in the air. And then we're just going to go ahead and slowly drop the feet towards the mat. We're going to go ahead and bring the feet all the way out to the edges of the mat. Arms out to the edges of the mat, away from the body. Just go ahead, relax the mind. Pulling your attention back towards the breathing. Focusing on that inhale. Focusing on that exhale. And staying with that breath. If you'd like, you can stay here for a few more minutes and push pause on your video for your full Shavasana. Or if you're ready, you can go ahead and come to the side of the mat, pressing up slowly, coming up into a seated position. Hands come to heart center. And together we say namaste. If you like that video, make sure to subscribe. Follow me below.